I know Vladdy hit his 30th home run last night. I know it's not been an MVP caliber season for him like it was last year, but how do you evaluate Vlad's 2022? Because when I look at it, I'm kind of like, if this is Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s down years, how can you not take this and just love it, right?
Yeah, I think the equation in my mind is like, okay, is this a down year or is this like the median outcome? Is this the 50 percentile? Is this what the average season from here on out is going to look like? And we're not going to know that for like 3 or 4 more years. So it's hard to kind
Mm-hmm.
of evaluate what this season was without finding out what Vladdy truly is. If this is a down year, like great. You sign up for 35 home runs, a bunch of RBIs, stay healthy the entire year. You sign up for that every single day. If this is the median outcome, still an all-star player, still really good, still one of the best first basemen and best pure hitters in the American League. I think you probably take that too, but obviously it's not like the perennial MVP candidate upside that he
Mm-hmm.
showed last year.
Is the ground ball rate on Vladdy concerning? Or do you think he'll figure it out in the offseason?
I think he'll figure it out for sure because it's something he's been aware of for the last like 3 years. He's gone in and out of these slumps where he's just been a ground ball machine, and every single time until this last few weeks, he's gotten out of it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like they've just figured him out and he's just going to hit ground balls for the rest of his career. I think it's something the Blue Jays hitting coaches are hyper aware of. They were hyper aware of it when he wasn't hitting ground balls early in the year, talking about
Right.
this is what he's doing well. This is why the ground balls aren't happening right now. So it is kind of the swing decisions and the ground balls that come when Vladdy isn't forcing pitchers up into the zone is kind of the key for him. And everyone's known that for the past few years. So I bet it'll be a big focus, not in the offseason, in the next like 3 days, the
Right.
next 5 days. They're constantly kind of trying to get him to make the right decisions on those swings at the bottom of the zone.
It's always mind blowing his exit velo because even when he's hitting ground balls, he's hitting it at like 115 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Like he can hit a bunch of ground balls and still be a very good baseball player, just not a 48 home run guy.
So you look at the schedule, we are down to the final four series of the season, all of them against division rivals. Um, but the Jays do look like they are kind of poised, I should say, to secure a wild card spot in the next 3 to 6 games, most likely. Do you think who pitches and in what order will be affected by who they line up against? Or is that more or less irrelevant and this organization's going to go with the same three pitchers for the 3 games in the wild card, no matter who they're playing?
Sorry, I missed just the beginning of that question. Do you mind repeating it?
Yeah, so just basically my question to you is when the Jays land a wild card spot, wherever it is, the team that they're playing in that wild card, does that affect how they set up their pitching?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I don't think so, just because I don't think, like, obviously we can simplify this down to Barrios versus Stripling, because that's kind of really what you're asking, I think,
Yes.
is that calculus. And I don't think they're different enough pitchers to like unlock anything different against specific lineups. And I don't think you're going off like 5 game start sample sizes against the Rays to determine Barrios versus Stripling. I think you just choose the guy you think gives you the best chance to win against that opponent, regardless of the opponent. Because I think it's not like you're choosing Kikuchi versus Stripling, who have two very different skill sets.
Yes.
Ross has got the curveball, Jose's got the slurve. They both have changeups that have been big for them this year. Their fastballs are not too dissimilar. Jose's got the two seamer, but they are kind of very similar pitchers. Not like the exact same guy, but similar enough that it's not going to like change anything in the calculus. I think you're choosing the guy that you think is more in form right now.
Do you personally have a preference as to who they're throwing out there?
I think I might be not alone in this, but a rare Jose Barrios supporter. You need
Okay.
first things first. Okay, I guess there's at least two of us, but
Right there with you.
first things first, you're going to need 4 starters if you're going to go deep in the playoffs, anyways. Like whoever's not starting game 3, if there's a game 3, is starting game 1 of the DS. So both of those guys are going to play big roles for this team in the playoffs. I just think if you get to game 3 and you need like some upside. If you've lost a game and won a game, probably you've used some good bullpen guys. Probably guys are tired. You want the guy who's can give you 7, 8 innings. Like, you want to take the highest high upside. And Ross Stripling's been really good, and his upside
Mm-hmm.
continues to get higher and higher and higher. But I think when Jose's on, and he's been on kind of recently, he's had some of these flashy starts, he can be borderline untouchable. He can be 12, 13 strikeouts. And so I think you ride with your guy, because if you're going to win the World Series, you're going to need Barrios to be good. So you might as well hope he's good in game 3.